Okay, guys. There wasn't a lot in the lesson that I wanted to go over with you on ancient Rome. But there were a couple things that I wanted to make sure that you were aware of. One of the passages in Roads, Bridges, and Aqueducts was this. Now you have woken father. Why can't you be careful? Next, you will wake grandfather. She was right. The head of the family was awake and shouting at his grandson. So who was the head of the family? If the head of the family was shouting at his grandson, that would make the grandfather the head of the family. So you've got grandma, grandpa, mom and dad, the kids. Grandpa is the head of the family. Everybody has to do what grandpa says. Now, I don't know about you, but if my mama and daddy were living with us, he's in charge. Yeah. So tell your parents about that one. Yeah, that's just the way it was. In ancient Rome, that was the way that they lived together. And the oldest living male was in charge of the family. So if the grandfather passed, then it would be the dad. If the dad passed and the grandfather passed, it would be the oldest son. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys understood that, and that you, because that's one of the culture, that's one of the ways of that the people actually did live. Another thing on this picture, did you guys get that? You know, there were no books. When we read Detectives in Togas, they didn't have books. There's your scrolls. There's your scrolls, okay? They were scrolls, long sheets of paper. For creative producers, I have had kids do scrolls. I had one time somebody did a diary. I think it was of Julius Caesar. And he wrote what Julius Caesar might have written in his diary. It was kind of cool. So, that's the only thing that I really wanted to point out to you. The aqueducts, the water was up here. And I have a really cool video I want to show you. I'm going to try to find it. I couldn't find it. It's hard to find. But anyway, the water was, ancient Rome had no fresh water source that was in the city. And so they had out in where the river was and out in the hills and country, they had to bring that water into the city so that the people would have water. Because they had flushing toilets, they had indoor plumbing, they were very advanced. So this is how they got the water in, was through these aqueducts. So that's all I have. You guys are going to be reading about the buildings of Rome and a dwelling. It talks about dwellings, and I wanted you guys to understand a dwelling is like a house, an apartment, something like that people dwell in or that they live in. So it's a place where people live. And a villa is like a very large estate, a very large place that they had to live. So you guys go ahead, read lesson 11, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. Have fun.